Okay. Anyhow, I will start. Later they can join. Okay. So here today we are going to see the second unit, that is hydrographic survey. Hydro is nothing but water. Okay. We are doing the survey in a water bodies. Okay. To, for example, this is your water body. Okay. Here I want to make a lighthouse. Okay. Just take an example of water structure. Say lighthouse. So this is my seashore. Matlab Chinara. Okay. This is my seashore or bank. So with respect to the banks, I will establish some points and some angles, alpha or beta. Okay, I will call this one as A and this one as B. Okay, and the distance between A and B we can measure, say 10 meter or say 10 kilometer. Okay, so I will keep my telescope or a theodolite at this station, at station A, and I will measure one angle. Say I will get on HOD speech favors and its students. Okay. So at station A, I will get an angle of 30 degree, and at station B. So from here I will get an angle of 30 degree. Okay. From another side, this is my station A and this is my station B. From here I will get another angle. Okay. Say this is 40 degree. So where these 2 points connect, I will construct one lighthouse. Okay. So this is just one brief example how we will do some surveying. And also before going to that one, we will determine the water depth. Say this is your sea level. Okay. And okay, this is your sea level. And I want to here at the bottom, it will be like this. I want to determine what is the depth at each intervals, standard intervals. So sometimes here it may be a 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, again here 10 meter, 10 meter. So this one will called as a sounding. So we have different methods to determining the sound depth of the oceans, seas, etc. So these all things we see in the hydrographic survey. If I show some figures, you see some figures like this. These all comes under the hydrographic survey. Okay, so they will determine the strata, how it is at the bottom. Okay, see like this. The rays are emitted. It will hit the ground and it will come back to the receiver. And by calculating, we know that speed equals to distance traveled by time taken. So we know the speed and we know the time. So we will calculate the distance. So we have different methods. Okay, and we will see the different what are the methods are there. Okay, so the whatever surveying that we are doing in the water bodies, we will call it as a hydrographic survey. Okay, so everything images are there. Simultaneously I will show some figures and I will explain. Okay, okay, we enter into the concept hydrographic surveying. So hydrographic surveying, in which the hydrographic surveying can be carried out on or near the body of water or near the water bodies like lake, river, docks, harbors, bays, streams, etc. Okay, hydrograph consists of survey work, that is to determine the various position of or level of bottom of various bodies containing the natural resource of the bodies. Means just now I said this is, take it as a plan. Okay, I'm saying, you are saying from the top. Here I want to construct one lighthouse. So I want to determine these positions, okay, and if I draw the sectional elevation like this, here I want to construct a lighthouse. I want to determine the depth here. So hydrography help us, okay, to determine the contours. Okay, so we know you already learned about the contours. Here also we will determine the contours of the submarine. Okay, to locate the various features of topography of large water bodies. Okay, so the main important thing of the hydrographic surveying is that to determine the various positions and levels. Okay, position means where you want to construct the lighthouse. Levels means depth. Okay, then we want to determine the contours. Just now I shown you the figure. See, here we can see how it is the profile. So we will get those things. Okay, and last, to locate the various features of topography of large water bodies of the water bodies. Okay, so here for us the sounding is most important. Okay, the measurement of depth of a body, or sorry, the measurement of depth below the water body or water surface is known as sounding. Sounding means, see, this is my water body and this is my top level. Okay, here I have a boat. What I will do, I will send a ray or a sound. Say its velocity is 2 meter per second. Okay, so it will come and it will hit the bottom and it will come back to your boat. Okay, so to hit and to come back, it has taken, say, time of how much, 2 seconds. Okay, so what is the velocity or speed? It is 2 meter per second and time taken it is 2 seconds. And we know the simple formula, that is speed equals to distance traveled by time taken. We know the speed, we know the time, so we will get the distance. So here in hydrographic sounding is most important. So we will go for the objectives. Okay. So the following are the various purpose or objects of hydrographic surveying of a body containing still or running water. Either it may be a sea or ocean, or it may be a river. Okay. So with the help of the hydrographic surveying, bed depths. Okay. Just now I said bed depth by sounding can be determined. The bed depth is needed for navigation. Okay. See why it is required. So this is my water level. Okay, say that bed depth is around 2 meter. Okay, small boats can come. Okay, can move here, but the larger boat, some of the part will be submerged into the water. So we have to determine the depths. Okay, for navigation purpose, and also useful to find the location of the rocks. Okay, sandbars, ponds, navigation lights, etc. Okay. Navigation light is nothing but a lighthouse. To determine again the bed depths are also useful to determine the underwater works. If there are any underwater works, means like construction of the bridges. Okay. So different types of underwater are also helpful to compute the volume of underwater excavation, and also useful for purpose of planning of drain works and irrigation works. Okay. So with help of the hydrographic surveying, various characteristics and behavior of bottom bodies of water can be found out. With the help of that, we can determine the intensity of the tides. Okay. With the help of the hydrographic surveying, we can determine the scoring, silting. Okay, can be determined. With the help of the hydrographic surveying, we can measure the velocity, discharge, and various characteristics of flow of water. Okay. And in hydrographic surveying is also used to determine the direction of current of waters. Okay, in which direction it is flowing, because by determining the levels, it is at higher level and it is at the lower level, so the water will flow in towards the downstream side. Then we have applications. It is used to determine the quantities of subaqueous excavation. Okay, the excavation or the amount of to be excavated under the water is called as subaqueous. It can be used to determine the area subjected to scoring and silting. Okay, if you construct any channels, irrigation system, scoring, silting will be the most important problem. So it will be helpful there. It is used for water resource power and irrigation works. Again, same rocks, current floods, and navigation purposes. Okay. Now coming to the another important concept that are control points, horizontal control points and vertical control points. So there are two types. One is horizontal and another one is vertical control points. So we will see what are the horizontal and vertical control points. Okay. The horizontal control usually involves a series of connected lines. Okay. The length and the azimuths of these connected lines are determined precisely. Okay, the distance between these two things should be determined precisely. Same procedure is carried out in hydrographic surveying as in topographic surveying. Okay, while making any maps or anything, what the procedure we are following, we'll do the same thing here. Only the difference is that in hydrographic survey, depth of water should be determined. Okay, there we will determine the elevation or height of the ground. So here we will determine the depth of the water. So in most of the hydrographic surveying work, single horizontal control survey is done to obtain the details of shore and offshore. Means here we will have some control points. Okay, horizontal control points which will be taken in the seashore. See, the water is flowing in this direction. Okay, and both the side we have the seashore. Okay, so we will be having the horizontal control points. The vertical control points, establishment of benchmark is a vertical control points. Okay, means if this is the elevation. Okay, this is our water body. So we want to control the vertical now. Okay, just now we have seen here the horizontal one. Now we want to determine the vertical. Same as in levelings benchmark. Okay, which will control the vertical levels. Okay, see, suppose this is like this. We have, so this level is 100 means the riser is say 0.15. So this will be 100.15. This will be 100.30. So the same way, the vertical control points are also established in the hydrographic survey. Okay. Near the seashore. Okay, the benchmarks are located at close spacing. Okay, the benchmarks are needed for setting and checking the various levels of gauges and surrounding are referred to the gauges. See here in building what you are doing. See, this is my building. Okay, the ground level is at say around 100. RL is 100. The first floor height is 3 meter. Second floor is height is 3 meter. If you want to determine the levels of first floor and the second floor, you will take the reference of the benchmark. That is vertical controlling point in hydrographic survey. So 100 plus 3, the first level is how much? 103. The second floor level is how much? 106. Similarly here what we are doing, we are taking the references. Okay. So for all types of survey, mean sea level MSL is the generally taken as the data. Okay. Next important thing is that sounding. Okay, this is very small unit and very easy one to understand. Sounding, I have already explained you what you mean by sounding. Later on I will send the video link of how the sounding works. Okay. Soundings are the measurement of depth below the water surface. Okay. Purpose of sounding is to determine the configuration of bottom surface. Determine the configuration of the bottom surface of a water carrying bodies. Okay. Measurement of sounding at various points is done by flat bottom board. Okay. There will be, I will show you the figure also. Flat bottom board. From here only we will send the signals. It will hit the bottom and it will come back to your board. Okay. And the board will be which type? Flat bottom board. In hydrographic surveying, the measuring the depth below the water surface, that is sounding, is most common and various operations are similar to the leveling. So once you take the depth, okay, once you determine the depth of that location in a water body, then remaining will be the same. So MSLG is say around 100. So sorry, my benchmark is say 100, and this depth I have got is 2 meter. Therefore, the level at this point will be 98 meter. So the remaining will be the same. Okay. For tidal waters, okay, round bottomed boards are used. If there are tides, okay, then which type will use? Round bottomed boards are used. The sounding board should have a sufficient space and it should be more stable, okay, under various conditions. Note that if the depth of the water is not more than 25 meter, sounding is done without stopping the boat. Okay. If the depth is greater than 25 meter means we will stop the boat and we will take the reading. If it is not less, it is lesser than 25 meter means continuously while going only we will take the depth. Okay. Again, the same thing, purpose of sounding. Sounding is to determine the bed profile. I have shown you the figure. It is used for the charts of for navigation. Okay. Why? Because see, if I draw the plan like this, at this position, okay, at this position depth is very less. So the boat will come and they will go like this. Okay. It is used to determine the quantity of material to be dredged. For example, this is your canal. Okay, this is your canal. Okay, trapezoidal canal. So due to flow of water and mud is there. Okay, so what happens? The mud will store here. Okay, I'm just giving a simple example. The mud will come and accumulate here. Okay, so I know that actual depth, how much it is. The actual depth is 2 meter. Okay, but when I took sounding, I have got 1.8 meter. Then the amount of mud to be removed or excavation to be done is that zero point 0.2 meter. Okay, if you want to day-to-day example means in your home you have a sump tank. Okay, sump tank or a water tank. If you won't wash it for 1 year, okay, there will be accumulation of mud at the bottom. Okay, so the actual depth of your tank is how much? 3 meter. Say no, it will not be 3 meter, say 3 meter, and when you take a tape and measure you are getting say 2 meter. Okay, so how much of mud has been accumulated at the bottom of the tank? It is 1 meter. So 1 meter amount of mud has to be taken. So here dredging means removing of the sand from the bottom of the water bodies. So if you once you see the construction of Dubai Palm Island, okay, Dubai Palm Island, there they have removed some of the sands with the help of the dredger. Okay, so why? To have to need a minimum requirement of the foundation. So here also the sounding helps. It is used to find the area for dredging and dumping. See here I want depth of say how much? 2 meter. Okay. Here I have some accumulation of mud here, but I don't have there here we have some gap. here the bottom bed profile is like this. So here I have to remove the what mud here, then and here I have to do some dumping to have this level. So it will help in dredging and dumping. Okay, so it is used to locate the area subjected to scoring and silting. It is used to collect the subaqueous informations. So these are I think already explained. Next we have gauges. Elevation of a water surface is considered for elevation of water surface is considered as level of reference. Okay, but in tidal waters, the level of the reference varies due to tides. Okay, that too during new full moon day. Okay, the tides will be very high. Hence, it is essential to ascertain the water levels. The time of each sounding should be done taking the tidal gauge. Okay, so we have two types, that is self registering gauge and non self registering gauge. We can call it as automatic and manual. Okay, so there are various types of non self registering, means manual one. This is not a automatic one, these are the manual, that is staff gauge, floating gauge, chain and a weight. So again, very simple, as the word indicates, staff. You have used the leveling staff, level staff. Okay, so like that only. If I take a bucket here, say, to make you understand clearly, this is my bucket. Okay, so I want to determine the depth here. Okay, so I am doing manually, not automatically. So what I will do, I will take 30 centimeter scale. Okay, steel scale will be there now, 30 centimeter. So I will take and I will dip it. So at the top level I will get the reading, say I have got 23 centimeter. So this is a type of sounding which is done manually. Okay, that is called as staff gauge. Similarly, we have floating gauge, chain and weight gauge. So we will see in detail one by one. Before going that, various instruments are used. Okay, for determining the depths. Okay. So one is sounding board, another one is sounding board or poles, lead line or sounding cable, sounding machine, sounding chain, and fathometer or echo sounder. Okay. So this is a in it can be divided into sounding methods can be divided into two methods, that is direct method and indirect method. All are very important. So we will see one by one, that is sounding board, sounding rods, poles with figures we will see. Okay. Before going that, equipments. Here we have this one. Mm, One second, I got it. So here you can see these are some structures that have built in the waters. Okay. So how you determine the depth of the foundation in the land? Here also it is most important to determine the depth of the water. So to lay up foundations. Okay. Yeah. Better I will explain it here only. Pointer. It will be easy for you if I explain with the images. So I will take some images and I will explain. One second, what happened to it? It's okay. I will explain here only. So equipment needed for sounding, that is sounding board, sounding pole, lead line, sounding machine, and echo friendly sounding. Echo friendly is nothing but a bathymeter, which is indirect method. The both things are the direct method. So the first one we will go for, that is sounding board. It is used for taking sounding. That is, we will emit the radio waves and it will hit and it will come back. Okay. So speed is equals to distance traveled by time taken. We know the speed, we know the time, so we determine the depth. Should be sufficiently spacious and stable. So the boat should be what? Spacious. Okay, and it should be stable. And it is used for white water. A flat boat is used. Just now I explained. If the water is quiet, then we will use flat boat. If it is unstable water, means we will go for round bottom boat. Okay. For regular sounding, a row boat may be used, provided with well through which sounding are taken. Okay. For a regular sounding, a row boat. Okay. Row boat means it is a type of boat which is used to take the regular sounding. Okay, that is along a straight line, and it should be extended far enough over a side of the to prevent the line from striking the boat. So if a numericals are there, means methods are there. If you are taking three boats at a time, means it should be far enough. Okay, so that it avoids the striking. So here you can see this is a sounding board. Okay, here you can see it is a flatted one. The boat is the water is quiet. If not, it will use the round bottom. Okay. Next, sounding pole. Sounding pole or rods is nothing but a legless staff. Okay, leveling staff, level staff. So it is a pole of is round, straight, grained well. Okay, it is not a sound; it is a round. Okay, grained well, seasoned through a timber, usually for 5 to 8 centimeter in dia and 8 to 8 meter long. Okay, what is the diameter? It is 5 to 8 centimeter in dia, and the length will be 5 to 8 meter long. Suitable for shallow and quiet water. Shallow means the depth of the water is less. Okay, we'll call it as a shallow, and the water is quiet. If it is floody means the staff will bend. Okay, it will bend in an inclined way. It will not go in straightly. Okay, an arrow or a lead show of sufficient weight is fitted at the end. So here they have attached some weight so that it will go straightly down. Okay, helps. Sorry, arrow and lead shoe is helps in holding them in a upright stand. Okay, so this will what will it will do, it will help it to stand in a vertical position. So pole of 6 meter can be used to a depth of how much? 4 meter. So here you can see they are using the poles. Okay, this figure they are using the poles. The next one is lead wire or lead line. Okay, lead line or a sounding line is usually a length of such cord or a brass chain, okay, with a sounding lead attached at the end. Okay, it is like your 30-meter chain and 20-meter chain. Okay, due to prolonged use, a line of hemp or a cotton is able to be stretched. Okay, why are not using the other material means it will be stretched, so we are using some heavy materials. It should be soaked in water for about 1 hour before it is used for sounding. Okay, the length of the line should be tested frequently, means you check the your tape chain length, so it should be checked regularly. For regular sounding, a chain of brass, steel or iron is preferred. Okay, usually used for the depth over 6 meters. Okay, if the depth is up to 6 meter means we'll go for lead line. Usually use, sorry, sounding lead is a weight, okay, attached at the end. So at the end they will attach some weight such that it will go down. It is same like uh, taking the water from the well. Okay, you will attach some pot to the end of the wire, sorry, thread. You will leave it in the well, you will take some water and again you will lift it up. So it is also like that. Okay, weight is conical in shape, varies from 4 to 12 kg. This weight you can see it is around 4 to 12 kg depending upon the depth of the water and strength of the current. Okay, often has a cup shaped cavity at the bottom. So this is your lead line survey, this is how it is, and this is the bed, okay, which you live in the water. Next we have sounding machine. Okay, where much of sounding is to be done. Okay, sounding machine as very useful. Okay, where the more sounding is to be done, that time what we will do, we use sounding machine. Okay, lead weight is carried at the end of the flexible wire cord attached to the barrel and can be lowered at any desired rate. Okay, the speed of the drum began controlled by the mean of brakes. Okay, readings are indicated in the two dials. Okay. The outer dial showing the depth in feet and the inner dial show tenth of a foot. Okay, handle is used to raise the level, which can be suspended at any height. It is mounted on a sounding board and can be used up to a depth of 100 feet. I think figure is there. Yeah, here you can see this one, and here. Okay, so it is lowered down and we will be having some handles. If you rotate in a anti-clockwise direction, it will go down. Okay, when it touches, you will determine the depth, and if you want to bring it up means you will rotate in a clockwise direction. Okay, so next one we have a fathometer, that is here echo sounding or fathometer. It is like it is a independent. Okay, other thing was a, sorry, direct methods, this is a indirect method, sorry. Okay, echo sounding is used for measuring the depth of a large river in excess of 10 meter and those of seas. Okay, echo sounding is a technique of using sound pulse to find the depth of the water. It is an electrical instrument in which a sound pulse from the surface of the water is sent towards the bottom of the river. Here you can see the image from the machine. They send some sound waves, it will hit the ground and it will come back. Okay, sound waves are reflected back from the bed in the form of echo, which is arrested by the receiver. Okay, there is an automatic recording of a time of onward and backward travel of this sound. Initially, I have said. Okay, taking the velocity of sound in water to be approximately 1,470 meter per second. The depth of the water can be computed. Okay, so you know the speed and you will get the time. Okay, which is automatically recorded. So speed multiplied by time, you will get the distance. Okay, or depth. Generally the generally the echo sounder is placed just at the water level to be eliminate transmission loss and obtain an accurate result. So it will be, see here you can see it is just placed in such a way that it is at the water level surface. Okay, it is not neither little bit up or not little bit down. Okay, to have some accurate reason. So use for ocean sounding where the depth is too much, it is adjusted to read depth in accordance with the velocity of the sound in the type of water in which it being used. Okay. For echo sounding instrument called as fathometer, echo sounding it is an instrument. Okay. A fathometer may indicate the depth visually or indicate graphically. Okay, on a roll which continuously goes on revolving and provide a virtual of lake or sea. Okay. So the main parts of echo sounding apparatus are transmitter, receiving oscillator, recording unit, and power unit. Okay. So here we can see the transmitter. Okay. Here we have a receiver. Same principle again. So advantages of echo sounding. It has the following advantages over the older method of lead and rods. Okay, used when strong current is running, means echo sounding when you advantages are it is used in a strong current. Okay, and whether it is unsuitable for sounding to be taken by any other methods like staff method, lead line methods, etc. Okay. It gives more accurate read. Okay, it is sensitive than the lead line, means again it is giving the more accurate one. And it records the record of the depth is plotted immediately. So in other methods, means in a direct method we have to do manually everything, but here it is done automatically. Okay. Speed of sounding and plotting is increased because it is automatically one, so the work done is very fast. Okay. Error due to the estimation of water level in choppy sea or means irregular is reduced owing into the instability of the board. Only here we have some errors due to that if the board has been unstable, so we will get some wrong results. Okay. So what is seashore? Seashore is nothing but the thing where the water ends. Okay. Seashores are where the ocean and sea meets. Okay. The change is abrupt and sudden. Now, methods of locating sounding. Okay. The following are the methods of locating: by crossroad, by range and time travel, by range and one angle from the shore. So these are very important thing how you locate the sounding. Okay, or where you want to locate the sounding. So here means, see in surveying we have two types of surveying, sorry, levelings. uh, we can use with the help of the theodolite or auto level, so to determine the either the position, elevation or height, etc. So similarly here also, in the plane surveying what we have done, we use some angles to determine the distance, or we use some RLs to determine the height difference. So like that also, to locate the point where you want to construct something, how you locate. So we have different methods here, and these all are very important one. Okay, we will go one by one. Before that, This one I needed. See here, one thing, locating or location of sounding means, see, I will give one example, okay, just to understand the concept. So see this, think that this is a tree, okay, this is a tree. In olden days, okay, in olden days, if someone get, say, if a person is having 1 kg of gold, okay, so in his home in that olden days, those people were not having any almaris or lockers, anything. So they were living in a simple hut, okay, they were simple living in a small house where they don't have much security to keep the gold. So in olden days, what the people were doing, okay, what the people were doing, they were hiding their gold under the tree. Okay, one example, they were hiding the gold under the tree. Okay, after hiding, they do some marking. Okay, they do some marking such that our gold is here to determine. Or some people, what they did is that with the help of their step, okay, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, after leaving 4 step, they hided the gold here. Means, okay, if one person start walking means this is 1 step, okay, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, after 4th step he hided the gold from this tree, okay, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and at the 4th step he hided his gold उसको उसने क्या किया, छुपा के रखा है. So after going, he went to somewhere, some other places, okay, and he came back. He came back to his home. Okay. Now, as he is in home, he want to take the gold and keep it in his house. So what he will come in first condition, he just hide it under the tree. So he will dig it here, and he will take the gold outside. And thus in second condition, what he has done, he has hided the gold by 4th step from this tree. Okay, so he will go for 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4th step he will dig the gold, he dig the mud, and he will get the gold and he will keep in this house. So what he did is that he located that point. Okay, he located that point by the 4th steps. Okay, similarly here, how you locate your sounding, if this is your ocean, I want to construct here, okay, I want to construct my lighthouse here, okay, I will do all the survey, I will take this angle, I will locate this point, okay, I have done surveying everything. Next day when I come back, okay, next day when I come back, I want to determine where this point was. In land means I can put some rods and I can go, okay, or I can keep some I can keep some stones, etc., and I can go. But in water, how you will identify that point? So these all things we will see in these methods. Okay, I hope you have got some basic idea how to locate that point. Only here is the thing is that we have to imagine. Okay. So now the first method is location of sounding from shore. Locating of sounding from shore. If I draw, this is my seashore, okay, and this is a water, okay. You are seeing from top, okay. It is a plan. I am standing here. I want to locate the sounding from seashore. This first method says that locating of sounding from the shore means standing at this point I will locate, means with the help of some angles distance I will locate this point, okay. The second method says that locating of sounding from the boat, okay. What I will do, I will take the boat, okay. I will take boat and I will locate this point, okay. I will call this point as P. Next one we have locating of sounding both from boat and shore. With the help of standing in the shore and with the help of in boat, I will locate this point. Okay. So we will see one by one method. So first one is that locating of sounding from shore. In that we have three types again. Locating of sounding by tachymetry, location of sound by range and one angle from the shoreline. Next one we have location of sounding by two angles from the shoreline. Okay, so we will see one by one. So the first one was locating of sounding from the shore, correct? By tachymetry. I will show you the figure. See here. This is my shoreline. Okay. Now what I will do, I will stand. This is me. Okay. This is my point. Okay. So what I will do, I will send the boat. Okay. These are the ranging lines or straight line. I will stand here, I will stand here, I will stand here, I will stand here, and I will stand here. Okay. What I will do, when the boat comes at this point, I will take some angles from this here. The boat will be going in this way and I will be ranging in this way. Okay. So I will take the alpha angle from this one. Again the boat will come here, I will take the second next angle. Again the boat will come here, I will take angle here. The same thing goes on. When the boat finish this line, again the boat will go here and it will start. Okay. Again when it finish here, it will come here. The boat start going like this. I will take the readings. This is how locating of sounding. Okay. Quickly we will see. In case of in this case means in tachymetry, it is set up over the station A, okay, on the ranging line AA1. Okay. From station A, tachymetry is oriented to AA1 so as to obtain the ranging line AA1 as shown in the figure. Here you can see this is my ranging line. Once I will clear everything. So this is my ranging line. Okay. I will range the boat. I will stand here and I will range. I will stand here and I will range. You know, ranging, how to do ranging. Okay. Next. So steady hair or leveling staff is held vertically on the bottom of the boat, okay, at the time of taking sounding. The boatman arrows the sounding boat along the ranging line from the shore to the point A1. Okay. After reaching to a point A1, steadier reading is taken on this staff followed by sounding reading. Okay. When the boat reaches the point A2, the second sounding is taken and stadia reading is also recorded. When the boat reaches A3, the procedure goes on continuing. Okay. When the horizontal distance A1, A1, A2, A3, A1, A3, and so on are determined by standard tachymetric formula. A1A, A2 means stadia you already tachymetry have already learned. Okay, this will be your upper stadia, middle, and upper. Okay, with the help of this one, we will determine the distance. Okay, tachymetry you have already learned. So you'll get the distance also, and you will get along with that you will do some soundings. Okay, so this is how in the first method it is done. Okay, second one, locating of sounding by range and one angle from the shore. Okay, the same figure we will use. So here again the same procedure is followed. Instead of tachymetry, what we are doing, we are using theodolite. Okay, to determine the angle or any other angle measuring instruments. In this method, the boat is rowed and kept along the ranging line. Means the boat is sent like this and it is kept along the ranging line. This is our ranging line. This is our ranging line. Okay, kept along the ranging line, and angle between the baseline and the boat is observed and taken with the help of theodolite. Okay, theodolite setup over one end of the baseline. Okay, when the signal is given for the boatman, at that moment sounding is taken. See, after taking the angle or reading, you will indicate the boatman. Okay, at that point you take the sounding. Okay, next. Similarly, the procedure goes on, shows the line A1, AA1, BB1, CC1. Here you can see these are the ranging lines BB1, CC1, DD1. So what you do, the boat will come at this point. Okay, you will take some angles. Okay, and you will indicate, tell the boatman person to take the sounding. Okay, again it will come here, take the sounding, take the angle. Again it will come here, take the sounding, angle. Okay, again the boat will come at this point, same procedure is followed. In previous method what we have done, we did with the help of the stadia here. Okay, tachymetric is applied, distance is calculated. Okay, with the help of the stadia, and the sounding is done. Here with the help of the theodolite, what we are doing, we are determining the angle. Okay, next time you want to determine how, sir, you may ask, sir, how I will come to know this point. Okay, so how you now say you have done the surveying everything, the next day you want to locate this point. Okay, what you will do, these ranging lines will be here only. Okay, so what you will do, you will stand here and you will tell the boat person to come along this line. Okay, you will tell the boat person to come along this line. He will move something forward or backward, and you will set up at the baseline. You will set up one theodolite, and in previously you have already taken the angle 30°. So you will set up, you will adjust the theodolite to 30°, and you will sight it. And here also you will tell the person to move little bit upward or downward. So when both the criteria, means when ranging and when taking the angle are satisfied, then you will get that point A1. Okay, the next method we have locating of sounding by two angles from the seashore. It is very simple, I can tell it here only. So this is your seashore, say this is your A point, B point, just to make understand. So what you will do, here is your boat. So what here you will take one angle, here you will take one angle. Okay, by it means by means of two angles. So you are taking the two angles. So it will intersect at this point. So you will take the sounding at this point. See, it is here only. You are standing at the station A and you are standing at the station B. So you will come here at this point. The boat will stand at this point. You will take one angle and you will take the another angle. Okay, that is alpha 2, and the distance between these two, it can be measured easily. Okay. So the thing is, everything is here is same. So this is alpha 1, alpha 2. This will be 180 minus alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Okay, because the total angle is 180 degree for the triangle. Just remember this formula. Okay. Simple mathematics is there. Once you draw the perpendicular to this line, I will call this one as x and this line as y. Okay. How to determine the x-axis and y-axis? Very simple. The formula is x equals to d tan alpha 2 divided by tan alpha 1 plus tan alpha 2, and y equals to d alpha 1 tan alpha 2 divided by alpha 1 plus alpha 2. Okay. Remember this one. Very important for the numerical calculation. Okay. Numericals are also very simple. You can go through it, or if I get time means I will explain it. Okay. Next one, locating of sounding by ranging and one angle from the boat. Okay. See here what you will do. You are standing. Your ranging line is A1. Okay. So the boat will come here. Okay. It will stand. You will take one angle. Okay. Again the boat will come here. You will take another angle called alpha 2. Here you will come, but the angle that is, it is taken from the boat. Okay, you will come here at this point. You will take the angle at B. Okay, if I erase it. In previous type, what we have done, we have taken the angle from the shore. Okay, but here we are taking the angle from the boat. Once you can see here, location of sounding by ranging and one angle from the boat. So what you will do here, this is our ranging lines, dotted thing you can see. The boat will come here. Okay, it will come at the A1. Okay, the person standing at A1, what they will do, they will make the boat to stand in a straight line. Okay, they will tell them to move little up and down, right or left. So when they are in a ranging line, okay, that time what they will do, they will take angle towards the B. Okay, then they will come at a time, along that they will do sounding, then they will move forward, they will come at the BB1. Okay, the person standing at BB1 range them, okay, to move little this side or this side, and they will come in a this straight line. Okay, from here what they will do, they will take the angle towards the shore B. Okay, then again the boat will come here. Okay, they will take the angle towards the D. Okay, then the boat came here. Okay, at A2 they will take the reading at B. When they come to B2, from the boat they will take the reading towards the C. When they come to C2, they will come take the reading towards the D. Okay, similarly okay, the boat comes and stand here, they will take the reading towards the B. When it comes stand here, they will take the reading towards the C. When they come stand here, they will take reading towards the D. Okay, the same procedure goes on in continuing. Okay. So when they are taking the reading, okay, simultaneously they do sounding. Okay. This is what locating of sounding by ranging and one angle from the boat. Next one we have locating of sounding by two angles from the boat. Okay, so whatever you have learned means just now you have learned that taking the two angles from the shore. Okay, it is completely reverse now. So here what we are doing, the figure itself explains everything. So see here, this is our shoreline. Here we have A, B, and C. So the boat will come at this point. Okay, first they will take the angle, means they will say that they make a zero in their theodolite. Okay, this is zero. From here they will cite a B. Okay, they have got reading how much, 30°. Okay, if you want to set it to zero means you can set it to zero. Okay, so what I will do, again I will set it to zero, then I will sight towards the A. I have got how much, say 60°. So this is how taking the two angles from a boat. Okay. Next one, that is location of sounding by ranging and time interval. Okay, ranging and time interval. See here, again the name indicates. See, this is sorry. This is my shoreline. Okay, this is my ranging lines. Okay, again here it will be C, C1, D, D1. Okay, so I will be standing here. Okay, so what I will do, I will start take I will start my boat from here. Okay, it should go in a this straight line. Okay, and here the speed will be constant. Okay, speed will be constant. So and it will be, see, I'm doing ranging. Okay, here this is ranging and time interval. So the boat is moving in a constant speed. Okay, I've started my boat here to what I will do, constant time interval. So what time interval, so what I will do, I will take 1 minute. Okay, so my boat is moving. I will change the color. So my boat is moving at a constant speed at 1 minute. What I will do, I will stop my boat. Or if I have an automatic machine means what I will do, I will take suddenly I will take the sounding. Okay, sounding at this point. Again I will start moving. Again at 1 minute I will take another sounding. Moving. Again I will take one sounding. Sounding. Moving, sounding. Okay, this is how the speed and ranging and time interval works. Okay, now again I will come at this point, or if you can come in the reverse way also. So here 1 minute, after 1 minute I will take sounding, after 1 minute I will take sounding, after 1 minute I will take sounding. Okay, this is how we have done. So if you ask, so if I want to look at the same thing in when I come the next day. So when you come to the next day, these ranging lines will be there, points will be there. What you have to do, you have to keep your boat here. Okay, then you have to start your boat, and the speed should be same. Yesterday you have kept 30 kilometer per hour, means the next day also you should keep your boat in the speed of 30 kilometer per hour, 30 kilometer per hour, and you should start the traveling at 1 minute. You will get A1 point. After second minute you will get A2 point. After third minute you will get A3 point. After fourth minute you will get the point. So the speed of the boat which you have taken yesterday should be same as that day. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have completed with the location by range and time interval. Next
Completed.
method. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So next one we have locating of sounding by intersecting the ranging lines. So it is also very simple. So what I do is that I will fix the ranging lines like this: A1, B, B1, C, C1, D, D1, E, E1. So here what we are doing with a little inclined way. Okay, and we have done in a straight way. Okay, here we are doing in an inclined way. Again, the figure will explain each and everything. So here when the boat comes at this point, the person standing at C, he will bisect B1 and he will make the boat to adjust along this line. Okay, he will say little bit move upward or downward or little bit right hand side or left hand side, and he will tell, and finally he will bring the board in the this range line. Okay, when it comes at this point, again he will take the sounding. Okay, next the board will come at this point. When it comes at this point, the person standing at D, he will arrange the board to stand along this line and the sounding is taken. Then the boat will move here. The person standing at E, he will adjust the boat to stand at the C1 point and he will take the reading. Again, the boat will come at D. The person standing at F, arrange the person to move little upward or downward. So he will take the reading. Then the boat will make U-turn and it will come starting at this point. Again, the next reading is taken from D. Okay, he will come here, E person will take. He will come here, F person will take. Okay, again the boat will come here, again it starts. Okay, and if you want to cover the remaining means, what you can do, just take it like this here. Okay, the procedure goes on repeating the same things. Here we should have some lines, here also we will have some lines, so we will join like this. Okay, this is how locating of sounding by intersecting ranging lines. Then we have location of one angle from shore, okay, and one angle from the boat. See here, what in previous problem what we have done, we have taken the alpha 1 and alpha 2, means taking the two angles from the seashore. Okay, that was taking the two angles from the shore. In second type, what we have done, we have taken two angles from the boat. Okay, now here the third one is one angle from the boat and one angle from the shore. So how you do? So we will set up the station, that is station A and the station B. Okay, so the boat will come at this point. Say I want to take this sounding at this point. So from the person who is standing at the station A, he will take the reading. Okay, he will take the reading angle. Okay, that is alpha 1. So the boat when it stands here, it will take the angle between A and B, that is alpha 2. So we have got two angles, and the distance between these two will be known to us. Okay, and similarly to determine the x and y, we have some formulas. That is, x is determined by d sine 1 alpha 1 plus alpha 2 divided by sine alpha 2 multiplied by cos alpha 1. Remember this formula. And y it is given by d sine alpha 1 plus alpha 2 divided by sine alpha 2 multiplied by sine alpha 1. Okay, so you may ask why x and y is this, we have to determine. It is nothing but the coordinates. Okay, for example, simple example I will give. So this is your chart, x-axis, y-axis. Okay, they will say that the coordinates of P are 4 by 6 and Q equals to 5 by 7. Okay, here it is x-axis, y-axis, x-axis, y-axis. So if you want to draw it in a graph, okay, So what is the fee? It is 6. So I have got the P point. Okay. Next Q it is 5, 6. 5, 6 somewhere I have got here. So here X and Y we require 0, 0. Here you get a X will be 30 meter, 0. This will say minus 30, 0. This will say 0, 30 or 40, like this, to determine the coordinates. Okay, simple mathematics. Next, locating of sounding by stretching a wire across the river. So this is also, as the name indicates, here we have two banks. Okay, see, in previous step what we have done, we went like this. Okay, but now here this is your river, this is your shoreline. Okay, and the water is flowing in this direction. Okay, now we are taking sounding like this. Okay, so here what they are doing, they are, here we have two supports. Okay, you can call it as a mini bridge also. Okay, what they will do, they will stretch a wire. Okay, so here we have some tags 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, or a cloth or metal, okay, which are kept in equal intervals. So what they will do, they will come at this point, they will take sounding, they will come at this point, they will take sounding, A2, A3, A4, A5, so on up to A9. So this is another type of taking sounding. Okay. Next. Okay, so we have left with another concept, that is plotting of sounding. Okay, so here we have three methods: mechanical method, graphical method, and analytical method. Here we have numericals. Okay, this one and this one, most important one. But for your exam point of view, they won't ask. If it is your offline mode, means they will ask, but as it is online mode, I hope they won't ask. But I will explain the theory part. Numericals I will explain after this, completing all the theoretical part. Okay, so plotting of sound. So whenever you, so for example, plane table surveying, to understand you better one, I will take the plane table surveying. So what you do, you take one sheet. Okay, here I have A, B, C station. So what you do, you will plot it in your drawing sheet, correct, in plane table surveying. Similarly also we can plot the sounding in our sheet. Okay, how we will do, we have different methods to determine plotting the soundings. So one is conventional method, another one is a special method. Special method is nothing but a 3-point problem. Okay. Conventional method. Okay, conventional method of plotting of sounding is preferably carried out in a 4 steps. That is shore survey plotting work. First one, what we do, we will do the surveying of the shoreline, selection of the range lines. So whatever you see here, we have already learned in different types of methods. Okay, methods of locating sounding. So that method only we are plotting in the paper. Okay, computing of the reduced sounding. Next, plotting of the position of reduced sounding. Okay, we have 3-point problem or special method. I will explain it here, then later on we will go for the numericals. So sounding of 3-point problem is special method for the plotting when surroundings are located by 2 angles. Okay, from the board with respect to 3 well defined points. Okay, Just now you saw this is our board. This is our A, B, C. So we have taken like this, correct? Angles. Okay. In other words, plotting can be done by adopting some of the point, 3-point problem when the surrounding is located by 2 angles from the board by observing to the 3 known points. This one here. This is your water, okay? Here you have water, and here it is a land. Okay, here we have 1, 2, 3. 3 points are there. From the figure shows the 3 shows A, B, C, and angle alpha 1, alpha 2 are known angles. Okay, it is required to plot the position of P. So we want to plot the position where it lies. Okay, this is 3-point problem. 3-point problem can be solved by 3 methods, that is mechanical method, graphical method, and analytical method. Analytical method, we have some numericals. Okay, first one we have mechanical method. Okay, there are 2 ways of using the mechanical method, either by using tracing paper or by using station pointer. Okay, I will show you the figure of station pointer, then I will explain it. So this is your station pointer. How actually it looks. With the help, means here we can see three arms, okay, or 3 levers. This is one station A, station B, and station C. Okay, with help of this, we will determine the position. See, P point we will get here. I think you are able to see this cursor. Here we will get the P point. What you should do, just you should keep this line in A station, you should keep it in a B station, and you should keep in a C station, and you should adjust some scales here, okay, with respect to angles. So directly you will get the P point here. Okay. So 3-point problem can be solved by station pointer. Just now I showed the figure, that is station pointer. Station pointer is a mechanical device by which station to be 3-point problem can be obtained. Okay, it mainly consists of 3 arms, that is, one is middle arm and 2 outer arms. If you see figure once again, this is a middle arm and these 2 are the outer arms. Okay, so middle arm is fixed. Remember, middle arms are fixed, whereas 2 outer arms rotate about the center of the instrument. Here we can see these 2 are attached to the center. They can be moved. Okay, and their connecting point is at the center. 2 outer arms are fitted with the vernier clamp and tangent screw, same as what you used in the theodolite. Okay, in theodolite you used clamps, okay, and tangent screw. Tangent screw is used to make a lighter movement. Okay, for small movement you use tangent screws. Okay, vernier read to 1 minute. Okay, in theodolite also you have 2 types of scale, that is one main scale and another one is vernier scale. Least count of the main scale was 1 degree and vernier scale was 20 seconds. Similar also here, vernier scale reads are up to 1 minute. Clamps and tangent screws facilitate to the accurate arrangement. Just now I said it also consists of the fiducial edge with radiate to a common center. Now, procedure of using the station pointer. Remember very carefully. Actually, it is very interesting. Okay. Initially, arms are set by the vernier, okay, in a such a way that it indicates the observation of angles. Just now I said alpha 1 and alpha 2 are to be adjusted there. Okay. The instrument is moved over the paper until fiducial edge passes simultaneously through the 3 points A, B, C on the chart. Means what you should do, first you have to give the angles here. Okay, by giving the angles, these three legs arms will be fixed. Okay, there will be no movement. Now how you should move means, how you should move on the paper means that these arms are parallel to the lines, or it should be touching A, B, C. You should move your instrument little this way, right side way, or left side way, or upward, downward, until these three things touches the three stations. Once they touches the scale means this, here you can see this will be your P point. Okay. So then the instrument is moved over a paper until fiducial edge passes simultaneously through the 3 points A, B, C of the chart. Okay. Then center is marked with the help of the pencil or picker so as to obtain the point P. Okay. This can be done by drawing rays. Okay. Just now I shown by the arms in a way that the point P is located or obtained. This is how, and this is very simple way. Okay, the only the thing is that we have to have this instrument. The next method we having is graphical method. Okay. Again, graphical method is divided into first graphical method, second graphical method, and third graphical method. Okay. So to understand this one is quite difficult, but I will try to make it to understand it in a simpler way. Okay. Now, first graphical method, consider the position of the show, say A, B, C. Okay, this is our show A, B, C. The one thing is that while understanding this concept, keep this image in your mind. Okay, that is A, B, C. Again, I will say this is station A, B, C, which are in the shore. Okay, and this P point, which is in the water. Okay. Just keep this image in your mind while understanding the remaining part. Okay. Consider the position of the shore signal, say A, B, C. Let A, B, C are plotted positions of A, B, C respectively. Okay. Let alpha 1 and alpha 2 made with respect to P. See here. These are the angles taken from the board, alpha 1 and alpha 2, made with respect to P at the board. Okay, as shown in the figure. Then now position of point P of a board can be located by the following step, that is point A and C are joined. First what we will do, point A and C we will join. Okay. Then a line AD is drawn through a point A. From here, line AD is drawn through the point A. through a point A, the line makes an angle of alpha 2. So what we will do with alpha 2, say alpha 2 equals to 30 degree, we will keep 30 degree and we will draw a ray. Okay, that is AD. We don't know till where it intersect, so we will extend it. Then a line CD is drawn. Again, this line is drawn with the help of the alpha 1 angle. Say alpha 1 is 40 degrees. Okay, alpha 1 is the 40 degree. So these two lines are meeting at this point. Now a circle is drawn through a point A, B and C. Here we will draw one circle such that it passes through A, B, C. Somewhere we will keep our protractor here and we will draw a circle such that a circle touches A, D and C. Okay. Now the point B is fixed through a now the point B is fixed along the diameter from D. See, this is our diameter. We will fix the point B. Then the point D and B are joined and extended further. So what we will do? We will join this line and we will extend the further up to it reaches the circle. Okay, where it reach, we will call that point as a P point. Okay, so what we will do in a graphical method? They won't ask you this one. Don't get confused. Just take A, B, C, which are already located. What we will do? We will join AB first. Then, with the help of alpha 2, we will draw one ray. With help of alpha 1, we will draw another ray. It met here. Then, what we will do? We will position the point B, and after joining this one, we will extend towards. Sorry, we will draw the circle. After drawing the circle, we will join this line where it is joining the circle. We will call that point as P. Okay. So next we have second graphical method. It is also a little bit complicated. If you want, you can go through it. If you want to understand this, I will explain this one. And we have third graphical method. Okay. The last thing is that we have analytical method. Okay. For exam point of view, it is very important. Only the numerical will ask from this one or X or Y axis. Just now I explained. No? From that they will ask. So this being a very lengthy problem, but they won't ask, I think, for your this examination. So in an analytical method, again we will consider the 3-point problem only. So the procedure is little bit bigger, and it at least should need 30 minutes to solve this numerical, for 15 to 30 minutes according to your speed. So we will skip this one. Okay. So analytical method, it is not so that much easy to solve. But if your mode of, just remember, if your final exam is in the offline mode, then just remember me. I will solve this problem because it is very important one. 100% they will ask this one. But if it is MCQs means they won't ask this one. Just remember me, if there is a offline mode exam means I will go through this problem. The last concept we left with is that tides and tide gauges. You know what is tides? Okay. So tide is the periodical variations in the level of water bodies developed mainly because of gravitational attraction of sun and moon. Okay. You can have a different types of tides, that is solar tides, the tides which are rise due to the gravitational force between this earth and sun. Lunar is between the tides due to moon and earth. Okay, we will call that solar tides and lunar tides. Then we have tide gauges, and we have different types of tide gauges, that is non-self recording, means floating gauge, chain gauge, weight gauge and simple staff gauge, and here it is self-registering gauge. I hope there is a figure. I will show you. figure is there, I will show you. One we have here. This is nothing but the staff. Another floating one is there. Once again, I will show you the figure. Floating tide gauge. Just a minute. If you see the exact figure, means will come down now. Yeah, here it is there. Means it will be automatically recorded. So then it's okay. So we have floating gauge, chain gauge or weight gauge, and simple stuff. Okay, simple stuff I have shown you. Floating one it is not clear actually. Means if the waves come and hit, it will float it. Okay, if the waves come and hit it, this one, it will float. It will move up and down. Okay, it will take the reading. Here you can see the drum. Okay, it will take the reading. And spikes will be moved. Will be printed while taking the ECG. Okay, heart ECG, how the spikes will be more will be there. Similarly, here also when the tides up and downs will be there now, so that times here there will be a spikes or the graph will be plotted along with that. So here floating gauge is nothing but floating gauge consists of a simple float, okay, which gives the support to the graduated vertical staff. Okay, simple float is surrounded by a wooden box with which is 350 mm square in section. The box is, whether the figure is there here, here also is not there. Okay, so the box is on the so the box is open at top and holes are made at the bottom of the box. Okay, these holes allow the water to enter into the box so as to lift the float. When there is the lift, means say that this is the graph. So when there is a lift, it will go up. When the lift is down, it will come like this. So the reading will be taken like this. Okay, in floating gauge. So in chain and weight gauge, these types of gauges consist of graduated chains or wires with uh, weight attached at the one end. Okay, same as that we have learned in the sounding. There is a pull over which chain gauge is allowed to pass through while taking the reading. Okay, so due to the tides, when it will come and hit, there will be a pull over. So by that, what we do, we will take the reading. The weight is lowered to touch the water surface to measure the level of the water. Okay, chain gauge, once again I will check it. Yeah, here I have got weight gauge. Yes, this one. See here, you can see the here there is some weight. Okay, which is just touching the water level. Okay, when there is waves or tides, so this weight will move up and down. Okay, so when this weight is move up and down, it is connected to the chain or wire. Here you can see. Okay, it is connected to the wires. So this will also move. Okay, this will also move, and you'll get the directly will get the readings in the scale, graduated scale. Okay, this is about the weight gauge. Next we have simple staff gauge. That one that's now I showed you. Simple staff. So here you can see this is a simple staff. Okay, so when the at the normal time it will be say it is 100. Okay, so during the tides there will be a little bit higher waves. So when it comes and hits, we will see the reading at what is the water level. So directly we will take the reading, same as how we will take the water levels. Okay, like this. Then we have self-resisting tide gauge. Okay, it is automatic gauge. Okay, readings are automatically registered. Okay, this type in this gauge, float is suspended well in a well or a chamber, and this float is further connected to a wire passing over a wheel and keep the wire under the constant tension. So when the water moves up and down, so again it will note down the reading automatically. Okay, next. So only we have left with some numericals. Other important things I have covered it. Again, we have this 2-point problem, 3-point problem. Okay, so this is the end of your second unit. Go through the numericals. Very simple numericals are there here. If you find any difficulties, you can ask me. So very simple numericals are there, not that much complicated. Simple mathematics and simple numericals are there. So just go through them. Yes, okay. So this is the end of your second unit. If anybody having doubt means you can ask me, and just keep in mind if your exam is in offline mode, okay, remember me, I will take the numericals on analytical method. Okay, it is very important. 100% you will ask in the exam, so don't neglect that one. And for me, sitting here and explaining that analytical method is quite difficult, but if that also if also I will try to explain. Just remember me if your exam is on offline mode. Okay, so if anybody having doubt means you can ask me. Tomorrow at exact 10 o'clock I will take the class. Okay, and that will be on third unit, GIS and GPS. Another simple unit is there, not that much complicated. I'm thinking Rahul sir, I'll ask Rahul sir. If he is premiums, he will take the third unit because sir is very expert in GIS and GPS, and he made his ME in that only. So I will request Rahul sir to take that third unit. If he is premiums, he will take. Otherwise, I will only take that unit and I will complete it. Okay. So comment your roll numbers. I can you can leave the class. If you are having any documents, you can ask. And another thing, I will give you the ADS manual. Okay, you have to do some write-up work. Otherwise, today there are only less students. Tomorrow I will when I take the class, that time I will tell to all of them because you have to do some write-up work because 50 marks is there I think for term work, and don't worry, I will give all of them a good marks. The only the thing is that you have to do some work, okay, and that you can't get any marks. So that is for today. If anybody having documents, you can comment or you can ask. Otherwise, you can comment your roll numbers and you can leave the class.